I think testing has progressed significantly. You know, I go back to 12 months ago when we were doing PCR tests first off, and antigen tests weren't really developed to a standard that would be considered acceptable. I think the advances that have been made now, both in terms of the quality of the testing, the speed of testing, and the assurance that people can get from testing has been really significant. You've got to admire, you know, the science associated both with the vaccine and with the testing. And I think, you know, a standard that we believed was acceptable 12 months ago or necessary 12 months ago shouldn't be necessary today, because there have been so many developments, both in terms of the vaccination, the quality of treatment that we can give in our hospitals. You know, the fear that we had 12 months ago that the health systems would be overrun, and I know it came close at times, but those fears have significantly abated. And the fact that, you know, the most vulnerable in most countries have been vaccinated at this stage. So therefore, you know, the quality or the quantity of risk, whichever way you want to talk about it, has changed. And therefore, the mitigation action that you should put in place to address that has changed, because you want to end up with the same, you know, residual level of risk. And I think we can do that with a cheaper, more efficient, more comfortable type of test than, you know, PCR. And I know the scientists disagree on this, which is great to see, you know, that they can't all agree. You know, I've seen some thinking that rapid antigen should not be used at all, and others who say it's clearly an effective way of testing people, particularly testing somebody who is positive. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that if you have a negative result, you're negative, but it pretty much does guarantee if you have a positive result, you are positive. So I think testing has progressed. You ask a great question in relation to could more have been done to protect jobs. I suppose it's always easy to look back and say we could have done more or we could have done better. I can't be too critical. You know, I have to admit I'm a great admirer of the Minister for Finance, Minister Donoghue, who I think has done a fantastic job and has responded as best he could in the circumstances, and has a very challenging position going forward. You know, the loan from ISAF is a commercial loan made on commercial terms. It's great to have ISAF, and as you know, I was for a number of years chairman of the NTMA, which included responsibility for ISAF, so I understand how ISAF operates and the steps that Aer Lingus would have had to go through to satisfy ISAF that was a loan that was worth making and a loan that would be repaid. To be honest, the thing that would have protected jobs more than anything is to get international travel going again. I know it's a simple answer for me to give, but it really is. Jobs can best be protected by the airline operating. And, you know, the sooner we get the airline operating, particularly during this, what is traditionally the peak summer period, the better. If we miss this summer period, then I can tell you the situation becomes, you know, much more grave, because we're going into what is traditionally a low demand winter period, you know, which I think will be particularly dangerous for a number of airlines. So, you know, I welcome the support that governments across the world have given. Most of that support has been in the form of debt, and that's why if you look at the industry, the debt burden on the airline industry, we estimate at IATA to be $650 billion US, 220 billion additional debt through this, and that's increasing by the day. And it's also, you know, important to point out that most of the financing that airlines have accessed has come from the debt and equity markets. You know, so shareholders have put in their fair stake, and you know, the commercial debt market has been accessed. So you know, what governments have been providing is a small fraction of what the industry has had to access, but it's very, very welcome. And without it, I think a number of airlines would have been in severe trouble if it hadn't been made available.